Hey you going, you big bloody beautiful bastards. Here's me face. A social media ban for people under the age of 16. That's what's going on down under. That's a big discussion and it's worth having a chat about. Just over a week ago, Australia's Communications Minister introduced a world-first law into Parliament that would ban children under 16 from social media.
This places the onus on platforms to introduce systems and settings to ensure that underage users cannot create and hold a social media account.
Cool. Is she commenting and scrolling on social media in the background?
I'm talking your TikToky, your Facebooky, your Snappy Chatty, Reddit, TwitX, the one with the twit, and Instagram could all face fines of up to 50 million Aussie dollary dues for systemic failures to prevent young children from holding accounts. I don't know what the government's going to do about YouTube, Threads, Blue Sky, Rumble, Patreon, Substack, 4chan, Discord, WeChat, Be Real, Telegram, Pinterest, Tumblr, Vimeo, Dailymotion, Kick's a thing, Twitch, and social games, those big ones like Minecraft, Roblox, Fortnite, plus the constant never-ending stream of iPad games and apps popping up from intrusive ad after ad after ad after ad, trying to get your child to click through to a bottomless rabbit hole of interactivity that when your kid comes out of it eventually, they resemble an adult with a gambling addiction. I don't know how the government is going to tackle all of that, plus the future platforms we can't foresee that children and teenagers will be interested in. But yeah, I'm being a smartass to a degree. I have sincerely been trying to decide how I feel about this one, more so as a parent and an aging millennial that loves the web. I don't have that much skin in the game as a content creator with the kids demographic. I don't. My stats show ages 13 to 17 is 2 to 3% of my audience, probably because I fucking swear all the time. Although I do think a lot of teenagers and kids watch Ozzy Man under their parents' accounts, and often their parents do know. I find this out through my emails, DM messages, Cameo video shout-outs, or the few meet and greets I've done. I discovered that there's entire families watching Ozzy Man together, and a rather common message I receive is something like, "Oh, Ozzy Man, my kid is 8 years old. I'm a bad parent, but we love watching and laughing at your commentary videos together. Keep doing what you're doing, Ozzy Man." And I always think, oh, you know what, it's not that bad. I shouldn't be overly conscientious about it. There's profanity and posteriors on my channel, granted, but there's way worse shit going on in the world than profanity and posteriors. Like murdering each other. That's a biggie. That violence is a biggie. Or the funniest thing that happens at meet and greets is that I discover I have reached a female teenage audience. Like, not my intent at all, but probably on TikTok or the gram. So they come up to me. They approach me. They approach me and I don't approach them, but they come up and they say, "My dad fucking loves you," and whew, it's great. It's wholesome. The last thing I ever thought would happen from doing Ozzy Man is that it would help a dad and a teenage daughter spend 2 to 3 minutes and 30 seconds together, like laughing at my silly shit. Even if she's mostly humouring him by sitting there watching it with him, it's still kind of nice. It's a complete side quest I never knew I was on. But anyway, this isn't about me. My point of view on this issue is that the Aussie government constantly has an archaic view of the internet. And I do think it is a shared view between our government and our traditional media down under. I'm not a creator that bangs on about distrust for mainstream media. I get why it's there, but there's enough content creators doing that and making a lot of bank and money on it. It's not me. There's great journalists, there's shit journalists. Same way I've discovered that there's great doctors and shit doctors. But I do think there's a common ground in my country between government and traditional media in thinking of the internet as this separate space from reality. Like it's always happening over there. What's happening on the internet, that funny place? It's been a funny place for decades. It's not a true reflection of reality. If we block it out, if we minimize it, if we ridicule it, it will go away. Whereas a smug wanker like me with a master's degree in internet communications knows, first and foremost, that this technology is reality. It's a layer of reality, whether you like it or not. This shit is baked into the human experience now. Even if it shocks you, it doesn't mean it is separate and over there. If the internet disappeared entirely tomorrow, like humans would keep humaning, no matter what. We would disagree on politics, we would disagree on sensitive issues, we would still find ways to gather in large groups, if it's through pamphlets or whatever. We'd still figure out how to gather in groups to be peaceful or aggressive together. Kids and teenagers would still have to dodge predators, exposure to nudity in old magazines, sex, violence, addiction, compulsion, and on and on and on. I could actually make an argument. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah. Let me have a sip of coffee. I could make an argument that people over 50 should be banned from the internet because they haven't grown up with it during their formative years. It's like learning a language. Your brain learns languages best when you're young. It's like a sponge, so it understands the nuances of the language. And I valued that, like learning that from ICQ and MSN Messenger and Napster and Trojan horses and malware that crashed the Pentium. I learned a lot in the early internet days, whereas I'm sorry, people over 50, the internet has damaged you. You struggle when it comes to discerning fact from fiction, emotion from evidence, bots from people, sincerity from spam. Your age group may need hardline filters, firewalls, and protection from certain online networks and communities that have poisoned you. I'll stop being condescending. I'll stop. Don't get angry at me over 50s audience. I like you. No, I like you a lot. I don't want to be entirely ignorant to reality, talking about reality. I am critical of social media this year more than ever. Aussie government, you guys, I am. I don't like it much this year. I do feel like the main platforms, YouTube, Facey, Instagram, Snapchat, Twix, X, the one with the twit, have actively looked to become more addictive than ever. Why? Because TikTok has had zero conscience with their algorithm. That's my opinion in my industry experience. 4 to 5 years ago, there was a lot of talk about creator mental health and user mental health by Google and Facebook. And I know it sounds weird to say, okay, you can scoff at me, but I do believe they had a conscience over how their platforms can negatively impact people. Maybe not a conscience, but an awareness. Whatever it was, TikTok pounced on it. They saw it as a weakness and as an opportunity, and they were like, well, if you won't deliver on a product, i.e. an algorithm that lets wankers feed their addiction for online content and online niche topics to the fullest extent, we will. And that's how I personally believe we've ended up in this era of rapid-fire, interest-based, interest-targeted, short-form content across the web, because the other platforms had to respond to that and compete by mimicking an ultra-addictive algorithm. It probably makes more money. It's probably a good money maker. TikTok doesn't share ad revenue properly with content creators like Google does with the 55% in the creator's favour. So TikTok must have a fuckload of money. And the other platforms are like, oh crap, China is beating us at capitalism or thereabouts. I don't want to bring countries and that kind of global world power layer into it, but it is there. So yeah, if someone wants to go down an algorithmic rabbit hole about what the fuck ever, we will let them. That's TikTok again. So whether it's Reels now or Shorts or whatever in your feed and homepage, it's gonna be super targeted to interest you. It will know you intimately. It will be relatable for you. So I can see where my government's coming from, not ignorant to reality that's going on in my industry. For some of the politicians, this law would be seen as something that protects the public and future generations. Or it's a shakedown for money like the bloody news bargaining code. Like when our government tried to get Zuck to pay for all our journalism, it was like, oi Google, oi Zucksy, can you pay for all our journalism? But yeah, the internet is so much a part of everyday life. Can you backpedal on its accessibility at this point? Or is it solely in the hands of parents? It's taken a long time to arrive at that point, but yeah, the heavy lifting has to be done at home, right? I personally do enjoy navigating the internet and online games alongside my 6-year-old son. Some days I am admittedly lazy at supervision. Some days I'm good at it. I'm on the ball. But yeah, some days we talk about what he's watching or playing. Some days we don't. And that's on me though. That is on me, because my feeling is that hopefully more days than not, we are talking about what he's doing and we're navigating it together. I want to make sure that the scales are tipped towards the talking about it side rather than the ignoring and just leaving him to its side, which is the leaving them to its side is a tempting side to be on as a parent. It's seductive because it gives you your time back, and that time is such a rare thing as a parent, and having it. So you can be like, oh, fuck yeah, he's just going to sit there for hours? That's awesome. I can do all the bullshit I want to do. Yeah. But yeah, nothing is going to stop parents from needing to be involved in how their kid navigates the internet and how their natural temperament can be positively or negatively affected. Mechanically, parental controls are already quite a gift. Like, they're pretty good. They're your friend. They're your friend. Sometimes I've been frustrated at how much time it takes to bloody go through it and put parental controls in place, but definitely it's been worth it sometimes. I think I put like a DNS ad blocker on the iPad, on the tablet, so all those app games don't lead to just downloading more app games. I mean, I showed him how you click the cross. That's important. That's like Web Basics 101, how to close a window down, how to close an ad down. Sometimes you got to wait 30 seconds, but you click that cross. Nowhere else. Click the cross. And he can find it. Like, even the most transparent ones. I'm like, oh, what? This one doesn't have a cross. And he's like, yeah, Dad. Boom. Found it. No worries. He knows his shit there. He's good at it. But then, yeah, the ads are a little gross sometimes in how they grab attention. So, yeah, an outright blocker on app gaming ads is good. If the tablet game crashes from the DNS blocker because an ad can't be served, we then get to shift into the talking about it phase, where I'm like, well, yeah, it's freeware. It's a free game, so it doesn't have much you can do in it. Not a lot of substance. You can't do much. You may only get a few plays out of the game, and then it's boring. So whatever the game is, it goes out of my life as fast as it came in, and it goes out of his life as fast as it came in. But yeah, Minecraft, Roblox, Fortnite, these are bigger fish to deal with. And yeah, the early stages of playing them with my kid are mostly fun. Some of you have surely been sniped by my kid in Fortnite in the last fortnight. Like, yeah, I didn't even realise I made that joke. I just have to set a budget on skins for myself and for him. And obviously chat gets turned off. I mean, that's a fucking no-brainer, right? Yeah, it's vague how some of these social games are going to fit into the Aussie government's new law anyway. It will take a year or so until social media has to show what effort they're making to minimise young people or prevent young people from joining up. So we won't see how restrictive this is until later in 2025, I think. Fact check me on that. But what do you legends reckon? Like, go for it, international wankers. Criticise the shit out of our government in my country. I invite you to. Or support their stance. Aussie viewers and ageing millennials like myself with a kid or two in this country, what do yous reckon? I think our late 30s age group will have interesting views on this topic, because we remember what childhood was like before the internet. The crippling boredom, but also the fun of not having much to do, or it's nice nostalgically now. But we also have memories of when the internet was introduced to us at an impressionable age, where we could learn how to use it fast or be affected by it. But yeah, right now I wish we could load up Alta Vista and ask Jeeves what he thinks. Bit of an in-joke to end on for a narrow demographic there. Anyway, I like having longer chats on this channel about serious stuff between my short-form content that I do have to toe the line with these days. And, you know, if you enjoy the longer chats and all of that stuff, please do sign up to AussieManReviews.com. It's a newsletter powered by Substack, and I put all the new videos out there, or the longer ones, I put them all up there first. So it's the first place to see the new Aussie Man videos and an odd behind-the-scenes clip. I'm not a hard ass. Free subscriptions are the same as paid subscriptions. Please do check it out if it interests you. Also, if you're in the market for a VPN, I do have an ongoing sponsorship with NordVPN. NordVPN.com/AussieMan. I can get you a mint discount on that. Maybe if you're a teenager in Australia, I can sell you a VPN. That's not ethically dodgy in any way, I think. It could be. All right, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, check it out. Links are in the post description for all my bullshit. And thanks so much, as always, for watching. Happy end of November. No, it's a good chat, I reckon. It is. And Australia's the first to do it. So we are the first. We're pioneers at doing restrictive shit. Hey, we are.